Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to be taking a crack at Lebanese cuisine for two reasons. First, Lebanese cuisine is the prompt for this week's challenge on r/52 weeks of cooking, as well as this request that was left on my recent Balza video. Because of this, we're going to be making a whole lot of stuffed grape leaves, as well as a side dish of tabbouleh, which from my understanding is essentially just a parsley salad. To be honest, I've never made either of these dishes, so it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve for me, so you're going to see this on the fly. Once all is said and done, we'll bring back on one of my friends who grew up surrounded by traditional Lebanese food. He'll be the one grading my attempt, and believe me, he's got high standards based on the way that he's been talking about his aunt's Lebanese tabbouleh. But with all that said, I think it's about time for us to move on. Moving on to today's recipe. Let's first start with the stuffed grape leaves. Bring a 12-inch saute pan to the stovetop at a medium heat and drop in about 1 pound of your ground beef or lamb. Mix this around and break into relatively small pieces while they brown. Feel free here to sprinkle in a pinch of salt and black pepper, as well as a sprinkling of onion powder. While this is browning, let's prepare a 7-spice mix that goes with this dish. For this, you'll add in a teaspoon of all of the following: ground allspice, ground cloves, ground cinnamon, and black pepper. And if you had it on hand, also nutmeg, ginger, and fenugreek. I guess I'm doing a 4-spice mixture today, but on the stovetop, I'll add in a tablespoon of ginger paste to bring it up to a 5 out of 7 mix. Once the smell of raw ginger has subsided, you'll add in about half of your spice mix, toss to combine, and introduce 1 1/2 cup of white rice. This is one of the times in which brown rice could be problematic due to its longer boil time and the fragility of the grape leaves, so I'd stick to white rice just to be safe. At this point, you can cut the heat and add in the rest of your spice mix and stir until evenly distributed. Now that our filling is ready, we'll take the time while it's cooling to get our grape leaves ready, which I found at a local Mediterranean market for only about $4. The first thing you'll do is rinse the brine off from all the leaves and carefully separate into a pile. These leaves are incredibly fragile, so you'll have to be very careful when separating one from another without ripping. Once all are washed, we'll head over to our rolling station, where we're going to thinly slice a medium potato. This will serve as a protective layer on the bottom of the Dutch oven so that none of our grape leaves stick and rip when we're trying to take them out later. For the base layer of potatoes, drizzle with a bit of olive oil, salt, pepper, and a bit of red pepper flakes. Now comes for the rolling. Start by removing any large stems from the leaf with a knife. Then spoon in a teaspoon of your filling, tuck the sides in towards the center, and roll forward. Finally, place in a row inside of your Dutch oven, seam side down. When you've finished a layer in your Dutch oven, sprinkle in a bit more of olive oil, salt, pepper, and crushed red pepper and continue rolling. The red pepper might not be super authentic, but I think it'll give just a subtle hint of heat to the dish. Like I said, I am by no means a master at this rolling. The first dozen grape leaves were not nearly as tightly rolled as the last dozen. But as you make your way through your pile, you'll find it gets easier as you go. And with the last leaf in, you'll place an inverted ceramic plate on top of all of the leaves to prevent them from floating off when boiling. At this point, you'll cover your leaves in about 6 cups of broth. I chose veggie broth via bouillon paste, but you choose what you please. Cover with a lid, then cook on a medium-high heat for about 30 minutes, followed by a 40-minute low-heat simmer with the lid slightly ajar. Next, let's talk about tabbouleh, and most importantly, bulgur, a type of cracked wheat. I also found this in the same Mediterranean market for about $2, but if you're looking for a substitute, my gut says quinoa would probably make about the same texture. Not traditional by any means, but it might work in a pinch. To prepare your bulgur, drop about a 1/2 cup of it into a boiling saucepan. Cut the heat and let soak for about 15 minutes. This gives us enough time to finely mince all of your veggies. For this tabbouleh, finely mince 1 large bunch of parsley and about a 1/4 cup of mint, along with 3 green onions. If you have a food processor, this is the perfect time to bring that out. Now, you'll want to top your greens with the juice of half of a lemon, a tablespoon of garlic, a tablespoon of olive oil, and a healthy bit of salt. And finally, you'll want to mix in your drained bulgur until it's fully combined. Now, you'll want to store it in the fridge until all the components are chilled. Remember that both dishes today are ideally meant to be served cold. This was a detail I wasn't fully aware of at the time, but my taste tester was quick to let me know.
Yeah, it's obviously warm still, but yeah, this would be good when it's refrigerated. Good job, Tom. Yeah, you definitely taste the citrus. Restaurants don't even get that, right?
Really? Mm-hmm. So if you were to add or take anything away, what would you think?
Tomatoes.
I didn't even put any tomatoes in there.
I know, I would say put them in.
I'll do that when I get the next one around. Alright, so the tabbouleh went over well, except for some lost refrigeration points. Let's see how the grape leaves stack up.
Whoa. Now, everyone in my family tries to cook these, and like half of them hit and half of them miss, and the hitters are obviously the ones that run restaurants. Dude, this tastes just like a hitter. Yeah. I'd like another one, please, sir.
I'd chalk that one up as a win overall. A few hours later, and I'm chopping up aroma tomato to add to the now cold tabbouleh for my own individual taste test. A little bit of fresh lemon juice, and I can tell you that these grape leaves are hugely savory. Honestly, I think I ate a dozen of them off camera because they're so delicious. This contrasts incredibly well with the tabbouleh that bring a whole lot of freshness and citrus. And my friend was totally right about the tomatoes that bring almost a hint of sweetness to the meal. And now we're to the point of the video where I like to ask y'all to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends if you've enjoyed what you've seen. Lebanese food was a new challenge for me to take on, and I'm incredibly happy with how it turned out. If you have a cuisine that you would like me to take a crack at, write it below in the comments section. For now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.